The Boomtown series continues with an insider's look at Dillon Reservoir. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News. Today in the Boomtown series, water everywhere. Let's just say there would be no ski season in October if it weren't for snowmaking, and there would be hardly any snowmaking if it weren't for the county's biggest asset, Dillon Reservoir.
We realize how important the ski economy is to Summit. We let those ski areas take water out of the streams at the ski areas, make snow with it, and then we ski on it all year, and then in the springtime when it melts, we track it coming back into Dillon.
That was Dave Bennett, a water resource project manager for Denver Water, the utility service that built the reservoir in 1962 and now owns access to it. Their property includes the 23-mile Roberts Tunnel, which carries water beneath the Continental Divide to 1.4 million users in Denver and across the Front Range. That means Dillon Reservoir and its 250,000 acre-feet of water serves a quarter of Colorado's population.
People realize what a limiting resource water is in this state.
Now, state officials predict Colorado's population will reach 8.5 million in 2050. That's nearly double the population in 2000. With more people comes more demand for water, and Bennett says that will put a strain on aging reservoirs and pipelines on the Front Range.
As we look at increasing population and increasing demands, it just points to the necessity to be more efficient with water.
Luckily, Bennett says Dillon Reservoir is relatively young and very well maintained. The Roberts Tunnel was repaired this summer, and Denver Water continues to pump money into the hydroelectric dam below the reservoir. Along with electricity, drinking water, and snowmaking fuel, Dillon Reservoir is also a must for high country recreation, from boating and rafting to fishing and skiing. Bennett says the local watershed is historically healthy, and the reservoir is rarely below full capacity for long periods. The only time that happens is during drought seasons, like what nearly happened in 2013.
Benefiting the environment and recreation are critical to any future water development that goes on.
But Denver Water and Dillon Reservoir aren't alone in the water game. It's the largest utility in the state, but it's one of dozens overseen by the State Division of Water Resources. Collaboration in boom times is a must.
How can we work with other entities to maybe combine resources and combine infrastructure and water supplies to see if we can find a way to be more efficient?
Bennett points to a recent collaboration with 2 metro area water districts. The project, called Water Infrastructure and Supply Efficiency, or WISE, has been in the works for a decade. It launched this past July to meet growing demand on the Front Range, and next month, the Western Slope will cash its first check for water fees.
That money will be used to provide funding for water supply and river restoration projects on the West Slope.
Those conservation efforts are working. Bennett says Denver Water cut demand by 20% since 2002 and hopes to keep eating away at consumption, even as our state's thirsty population grows and as more snow guns line our slopes.
Get people to be aware of their water use. Those kind of messaging has been very, very successful.
Tune in tomorrow for the next part in our Boomtown series with a look at the biggest gorilla in the room, housing. In sports tonight, the Dodgers host the Astros for Game 1 of the World Series. First pitch is 6 p.m. on Fox, and first pitch temperatures are expected to reach 100 degrees in LA. Vegas has the Dodgers by 1.5 runs. In local sports, it's rivalry night on the volleyball court when Summit High heads to Battle Mountain. Game time is 6:30 in Edwards. Soccer standings are nearly final, and the Summit boys will just barely miss the cut. They ended the season 8-7 overall and 6-6 in the 4A Western Slope League. Battle Mountain and Steamboat finished top 2. Those guys will start playoffs tomorrow. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News.